Music.
Reviews.
Chat.
Poems.
Comedy.
Writing. Interviews.
ELFM, it's radio, but so much more.
And welcome to the Chapel FM Quiz Night, February 2021. I'm Tony Macaluso. I'm here with my co-host, Sam Armitage. Hello, Sam. How are you doing tonight?
I'm good, Tony. How are you?
Good. We've got six rounds of quiz questions. At least dozens of people out there in virtual Chapel FM radio land joining us from all across the universe. Hello, welcome all. You can send in comments. They'll go right to Elliot Moon, and he'll forward them back to us. So first off, while you're getting ready for the quiz, if you got any stories, anything strange, unusual, a whole bunch of comments just popped up. Great, brilliant. Good to hear from you all. We'll read some comments as we go along. So we've got 6 rounds of quiz questions. And before we get going, a few ground rules. But first off, the prize for tonight is a fabulous, absolutely customized cake baked by the new Chapel FM cafe manager, food artist, Vic Parrott. And she will make the cake to the best of her abilities to whatever your specifications are. So whoever wins, it's your chance to dream up your fantasy cake, and Vic will do her best to deliver on it. She can't promise everything, but she'll do her best. Sam,
Tony, I feel like I'm a little bit, I'm missing out. I'm co-hosting, which is amazing, but I'm missing out on the chance to win a wonderful cake.
And we will send around, believe me, we will send around pictures and even maybe videos of the dream cake. So whoever wins, however fantastical, imaginary, utopian your dream cake is, Vic will do her best, and we'll share it. You might not get to eat the cake, but you'll at least see it and hear it.
You'll be able to feel the spirit of the cake.
Spirit of the cake will be there. So we are so excited someday to do our next quiz night. Hopefully, who knows, maybe in April or May, we'll be back in Chapel doing the quiz night in the radio theater. Sam, when's the last time you were at Chapel?
Oh,
remember?
I don't actually think I can. Like, probably December 2019, maybe? I have no clue.
Well, I was just at Chapel FM today. So for those of you who have been at the chapel is alive and well. It's a little cold. It's a little haunted by ghosts and spirits right now, but it's ready and waiting for everyone to come back in. I know Elliot's been there too as well. So I think with that said, Elliot, any ground rules we should say? Everyone, make sure everybody's set up. You should have your quiz questions. Yeah, Sam?
To set up, in the description, there's a Google Doc form. So if you go in the description, click on that, you'll get sent the Google Doc form. On the thing, on the form, on the thing, there will be the multiple choice questions that we will be going through in a moment. And you will click A, B, C, or D, and then carry on scrolling through until we finish the quiz. And the winner, the winner is the person with the most points. So that is usually how quizzes work, to be fair. But
we are counting on no cheating. And actually, Jamsey just said, and I agree with this, Sam should get a compulsory cake. And I'm gonna make a special request to Vic, our cake baker and new Chapel FM cafe manager. Whatever cake gets made, that there'll be a little special piece set aside for Sam.
Yeah, I think I should get the co-host cake. I think is what.
Or at least some of the icing and leftovers from the cake. So here we go. I think we're ready to go. As we go along between each section of the quiz, we'll tell you a few updates on Chapel FM, upcoming events, special things going on, lots happening around Seacroft, including a little update on the brand new Seacroft ice cream van. So stay tuned for news on the ice cream van. We'll save that for between rounds. Just before intermission, we'll tell you about the ice cream van.
But before we start, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? I can't hear you, quite literally, because I'm on the radio. But I'm assuming you were shouting, getting ready, getting hyped for the quiz. As I am. I'm very hyped.
And so a little shout out to a few people I've heard from. Linda Sage, nice to hear from you. JMC, Jake of the film show, Chapel FM. John, I think there might be a jazz question somewhere in there. If not, we'll jazz it up as best we can. And hello to the Camerons, Jemima, and others out there. So here we go. I think, Sam, ready to take it away for question 1?
Yes, I'm very ready.
Here it is.
The first question is, well, the first round actually is the music round. You know, we're a radio show, but there's got to be a music round in there somewhere, haven't there?
Okay.
I think we're ready for the first question. The first question is, which Scottish rock duo would walk 500 miles and 500 more? So on your Google Doc forms, you'll have the A, B, C, D options. Do you think it's A, the Proclaimers, B, the Carpenters, C, Hall and Oates, or D, the Savage Garden? How much about music do you know, Tony?
This one I don't know for sure. I've got a pretty good hunch of which one it is, but
we don't know any of the answers, so we're about as confused as you guys are at home right now.
Which is important to know. So no, you're not going to get any subliminal messages because neither Sam or I know what the correct answer is. So don't count on our eye movements or anything else to give you any hints. Only Elliot Moon knows the answers to these questions. So we're going to take a little longer on this first one to make sure everybody's able to get the system working. So if you're having any technical issues, let Elliot know now because we're going to go fast and furious from here on out. Everybody good? Elliot, good to move ahead? All right, I guess
let's go.
All good. Here we go. I think there are 10 music questions. Is that right?
15.
15. Okay, we'll go quick. Here we go. Question 2. What kind of shop did 50 Cent rap about in 2005? Choices are A, mom and pop shop, B, gun shop, C, candy shop, or D, Asda.
The third question in the music round is, what song by Psy was the first YouTube video to be viewed 1 billion times? Is it A, Gangnam Style? Is it B, Gentleman? Is it C, Boy with Love? Or is it D, I Want It That Way? Tony, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling the questions right now.
Here we go. Number 4. In what year did Queen release their classic song, Another One Bites the Dust? Here we go. 1978, A. 1982, B. 1988, C. Or 1980, D.
I love a bit of Queen. Don't know when they released the song though. I wasn't born then.
Yeah, that's all ancient history.
Yeah, for me it is. Question 5. Who won a Grammy for Best Reggae Album in 1995 with Bombastic? Is it A, Seal, B, Shaggy? Is it C, Eminem? Or is it D, UB40?
Here we go, number 6. We're still pulling for an experimental jazz ambient music question for John Tulin. Can't promise one, we'll see. Question 6. Which German band had a UK #1 single in 1982 with Computer Love?
I don't think this is a jazz question.
But it does sound experimental. Rammstein, Kraftwerk, Spider Murphy Gang, or D, Creator.
We got question 7 coming up for you right now. The band Neutral Milk Hotel had some interesting artwork on their CDs and album covers. In their album In the Aeroplane Over the Sea, the CD has a picture of what on it? Is it A, a flying phonograph? B, a man riding a giant rat? That'll be something to see. Is it C, a woman with a drum for her head? That's quite unique. Or is it D, a man running with scissors in his hands? That's quite dangerous, that.
Wow. I do know the answer to this one. Way back in Chicago in like right around 2000. I love that album. So
I've never
I'm not going to give any hints away which one it might be.
I've
But I
never
will
heard
say,
of.
if you've never heard of Neutral Milk Hotel, I know Elliot's a fan. Definitely recommend if you're looking for something to do after the quiz tonight. Listen to that album. It's worth it. Here we go. We are past the halfway point on the music section of the quiz. Here we go. Oh, okay. Pardon the American accent here. Question 8. Which rock band was founded by Trent Reznor in 1988? 9 Inch Nails. A. B. Guns N' Roses. C. Motley Crue. 2 umlauts. And D. Whitesnake.
Question 9. Which prison did Johnny Cash famously sing about in his 1955 song? A. Rikers Island. B. Louisiana State Penitentiary. Is it C. Folsom Prison? Or could it be D. San Quentin State Prison? 1955. We're going further back in time, Tony.
Very far back in time, yes.
I'd be useless. Maybe the cake probably wasn't going to be coming to me if I was playing.
But Johnny Cash, do you know Johnny Cash?
I've heard of Johnny Cash, yeah. He sang about a ring of fire. That's pretty much all I know.
He also performed in a prison, but I think he performed in a different prison from the one the prison song is about. So,
Ooh.
Just in case, that might tip some people off. Okay, question 10. Who was the last person to join the Rolling Stones? Mick Jagger. Or B? What's that?
Don't forget to say B, C, or D.
Oh, that's A. Oh, that's where I'm messing up. A, Mick Jagger. B, Ron Wood. C, Bill Wyman. Or finally, D, Mick Avery.
Question 11. What instrument did the jazz legend Charlie Bird Parker play? We've finally got the jazz question. Is it A, the clarinet? Is it B, the trumpet? Is it C, the double bass? Or is it D, the saxophone? Now, John, if you don't get this right, I'll be very disappointed in you given you've asked for this.
Yes. Over to question 12. What's Rihanna's full name? Robin Rihanna Fenty. B, Monica Braithwaite. C, Rihanna Radford. Or D, Rihanna Rajad.
Question 13. Don McLean's song American Pie is said to be a tribute to who? A, Frank Sinatra. B, Elvis Presley. C, Johnny Kidd. Or D, Buddy Holly.
And question 14. Who is this music legend when they were younger? We have pictures coming up. Who is that? Willie Nelson, A. B, Elvis Presley. C, Paul McCartney. Or D, Frankie Valli.
I'm no good at picture rounds. I would not be able to know that. And then finally, question 15 for the music round. What famous pop star neighbor does Adele have? So who does Adele live next door to? Is it A, Justin Bieber? Is it B, Beyonce? Is it C, Katy Perry? Or is it D, Lady Gaga? That was a good music round.
The end of music round 1. So take a little breath, catch your breath, stretch a bit. Nice comment. Jamie says, watching their legendary Glasto 94 set on YouTube today. I missed who that was in reference to, but that was a few questions back, I think. All right. So before we go on to round 2, if you have not been tuning in to East Leeds FM, lots of good things in the radio show. Sam has been one of the co-hosts of the Red Kite radio show. If you haven't heard it, Red Kite, every other Friday, all kinds of amazing stories about seeing the world from unexpected points of view. More on that, other radio shows later, but I think we're ready for round 2. Here we go, Elliot. Round 2's topic, I believe. Oh yeah, we can talk for as long as we need to. 30 seconds here. So start dreaming about your cake. And actually, you know what? If you've got any thoughts, if you've got a few ideas of what your dream utopian cake might consist of, what could be on it, what could be in it, what you'll do with the cake, put it in the chat room. It's great to hear what your thoughts are on the cakes.
Oh, don't tell me to do that. They'll make me hungry.
I know. So we're glad to hear some cake ideas. We're ready for round 2. Here we go. I think round 2 might be movies. It is.
It is movies.
Movies and cinema. Here we go.
It's time to say action on this round, am I right?
And on the topic of movies, we've got Jake Baldwinson, our Chapel FM resident film movie radio host on here. So he may have a leg up on this one. We'll see. And we are planning out a lot of new movie projects, Sunday cinema at the new chapel, post-COVID lockdown, by the way. So stay tuned for more on that. So here we go. Question 1, round 2. Finish this Arnold Schwarzenegger quote. Get to the car. A. B. Bike. C. Truck. Or D. Chopper.
Love a bit of Arnold Schwarzenegger, I do. I do like it when he says this quote too, but
we've got some cake descriptions coming in. We'll read those out after the end of round 2. Some of the cake dreams. Meanwhile, over to Jake.
But meanwhile, we got question 2 of the movie round. 2. Who was the director of the films Titanic, The Avatar, and The Terminator? Is it A, Quentin Tarantino? Is it B, James Cameron? Is it C, David Lynch? Or is it D, Martin Scorsese? Scorsese. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I've probably just angered a lot of people listening right now at my inability to say Scorsese.
Okay.
Well, I just came up with it on the spot right there.
Question 3. Mary Poppins is a nanny to which family? A, the Addams. B, the Banks. C, the Robinsons. Or D, the Crawleys.
Moving on to question 4. In Gremlins, there are 3 rules for looking after Gizmo the Mogwai. The first 2 being don't expose it to bright light and don't get it wet. But what's the third rule? Is it A, don't expose it to fire? B, don't give it any chocolate? C, don't make loud noises? Or D, don't feed after midnight? I'd hate for it to be B. I don't think I could survive without chocolate.
Have you seen Gremlins?
I haven't, no.
Oh, okay, that's good. Another good weekend recommendation. Lots of ideas for what to do in your weekend.
I've plenty of time on my hands.
Here we go. Number 5. What year was the first Toy Story film released in cinemas? Was it A, 1996, Or was it B, 1998? Or C, 2000? Or D, 1995?
Question 6 in the movie round. What is the name of the spell used by Ron and Hermione in Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone to make their feathers fly? Is it A, up, up and away? Is it B, Excelsior? Is it C, Wingardium Leviosa? Or is it D, Alakazam? I love a bit of Harry Potter.
And good pronunciation on the spells.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
I wouldn't have gotten those. Question 7. Meryl Streep won a Best Actress BAFTA for which 2011 political drama? Could it be A, All the King's Men? Or is it B, The Iron Lady? C, The Butler? Or D, Rules of Engagement?
Next question. What is the highest grossing box office film of all time? Is it A, Avengers Endgame? Is it B, Star Wars, just in general? Is it C, Titanic? Or is it D, E.T.? And you will not be able to phone my home to ask me for the answer for that one. You
Not
see what I
allowed.
did there? No.
Question 9. Cool Runnings is the story of which country entering a bobsled team into the Winter Olympics? Might it be A, Finland? Or B, the United Kingdom? C, Jamaica? Or D, Australia?
It's a very good film, it's Cool Runnings.
I haven't seen it, but I do know the answer.
It's very inspirational, I think. Moving swiftly on to question 10. Who plays a character named Lee Christmas in the Expendables series of films? Is it A, Jason Statham? Is it B, Jet Li? Is it C, Sylvester Stallone? Or is it D, Arnold Schwarzenegger?
There we go. Okay, it's still time to send in your cake dreams. We've got a couple of them in there. So in the next break, we're going to read off a few of the cake dreams. So if you've got a fantasy cake, your utopian cake prize, send your thoughts in over the chat. Here we go. Question number 11. Who was offered and turned down the part of Han Solo in the original Star Wars film? I don't know this one. This is interesting. I'm intrigued. Was it Bruce Willis, A? Could it be B, Roger Moore? C, Al Pacino? I'm very intrigued. Or D, Jean-Claude Van Damme? Could have been Han Solo in another universe.
Question 12. How many Oscars did the 1994 movie Forrest Gump win? Is it A, 4, B, 6, C, 7, or D, 8? Now, I've never seen Forrest Gump. I know it's one of the ones that's like supposed to be a very good film, but I've never seen it.
It's a good one. It'd be a good lockdown film, I think. Especially because he travels through time and pops up. Question 13. Here we go. How much of his own money did Francis Ford Coppola put up to finish the movie Apocalypse Now when it ran wildly over budget? All those helicopters and Marlon Brando. 2 million, A. 8 million, B, C, 11 million, or D, 16 million? And this is like 1970s money.
Which is a lot of money.
Yeah.
Still. Penultimate question for the movie round. What was the name of the island on which King Kong was discovered in the original 1933 movie? Was it A, Skull Island, B, Monster Island? Could it be C, Faroe Island? Or D, Odor Island?
And another good lockdown recommendation if you're looking for something this weekend, the original 1933 King Kong. Not a bad way to spend the weekend in lockdown, watching that one. And finally, last movie question. What is the number on the roof of the bus in Speed? Okay, here you go. 8911. B, 0000. C, 2525. Or D, 724. And that's it. Round 2 is over. 4 rounds to go. 1 more before intermission. So we've got a few. Sam, you want to read out a few of the cake ideas that have come through over the chat, just to get a sense of what people are imagining?
Yeah, sure. If I can find it. We got Jake says he wants a depiction of the chapel on his cake, and that is, in my opinion, the best way to spend your cake prize. Connor says that he presumes he will eat the cake. That's a good thing to do with a cake. I mean, I don't think I wouldn't not eat the cake. We've got Monique. Sorry if I've butchered that. She says she wants a vegan red velvet cake. And then Hariati, again, I'm really bad with pronunciation. I'm sorry. She wants a passion fruit meringue cake.
All right. Well, it sounds like Vic, the new Chapel FM cafe manager and food artist, has some good challenges potentially out there for the possible winner. Speaking of food, by the way, a little flash news announcement. Just this past week, Chapel FM and our cohorts in Seacroft, LS14 Trust, and Fall Into Place Theater bought, by the way, a vintage ice cream truck that is going to start traveling around East Leeds in the next month or so. So stay tuned for the roving art ice cream truck traveling around. Speaking of, so if you don't win a cake, you can at least have some of the ice cream that's going to be traveling around, bringing ice cream and radio and art and other things to the community. So here we go.
Ice cream radio. Combination of dreams.
I saw the truck this morning, actually. It looks great.
Yeah.
Here we go. Round 3. The topic is...
It's geography.
Geography. Here we go.
I'm terrible at geography, but I'm
my
answering the questions.
Whose turn is it? My turn or your turn, Sam?
I think it's my turn.
You're up. Okay. There you go.
I will read the first question of the geography round, which is: what is the world's largest continent? Is it A, Africa? Is it B, Asia? Is it C, North America? Or is it D, South America? Quick note, there is only 10 questions in this round, not 15.
Shorter. Yep. Moves quicker and quicker as we go on, by the way. So, and after intermission, bonus round, other things. I think there's only 5 bonus questions, Elliot, or 10 bonus questions. Question 2. What is the smallest country in the world? The Maldives, islands. Malta. C, A, Maldives, B, Malta, C, San Marino, or D, Vatican City. And if anybody's been to any of those 4 countries, put in the chat. I'd love to know if anyone's been there.
Question 3 for the geography round. How much of the United Kingdom is woodland? Is it A, 3.5%? Is it B, 12.7%? Is it C, 19.2%? Or is it D, 16.4%?
Here we go. Number 4. Pencils ready. What is the unit of currency of Poland? The euro. A, the euro. Sorry. B, the zloty. C, the ruble. Or D, the hryvnia.
I'm so happy I didn't get to ask these questions. I'd have offended every single Polish person.
Around here. One of those, whatever the actual one is.
Anyway, question 5. What is the highest mountain in Britain? Is it A, Snowdon? B, Scafell Pike? C, Ben Nevis? Or D, Sleeve Donard? Donard.
Number 6 in geography is, question coming soon. Here it comes. In which U.S. state would you find Fort Knox, where they keep all the gold bars? Is it Kentucky? A. Is it B, Texas? Could it be C, Washington? Or is it D, Ohio?
Do you know that one, Tony, given that, Yeah, I'd assume you would. I have no idea.
Poker face. I'm not going to give any hints away. No clues.
All right. Well, you won't be seeing a poker face from me because I generally don't know any of the answers. But anyway, question 7. In which UK city would you find the River Clyde? A, Glasgow. B, Leeds. C, Birmingham. Or D, Manchester.
And here we go. Question 8. What African country has the largest population? Is it A, Chad? B, Congo? C, Ghana? Or D, Nigeria?
Question 9, the penultimate geography question. Which Turkish city shares its name with a famous superhero? Is it A, Hulk? B, Spider-Man? C, Batman? Or D, Green Lantern?
Okay, last question before the intermission, and then it speeds up for part 2, act 2. What country does this flag belong to? It's going to be visual. Here we go. Could it be A, Bermuda? B, Bhutan? C, Kyrgyzstan? Or D, Albania? Who has the double-headed black glittery creature here?
You shouldn't be allowed to have that many consonants in a row.
Kyrgyzstan, yeah. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 consonants in a row in Kyrgyzstan. All right, so put your answers in, and it's break time. So take a stretch, get a cup of tea, and put a comment in if you tell us how you think you're doing. Anything that you think you answer particularly well. If you think you're winning, put a little challenge out to the other teams. Okay. All right. We'll see you in 5 minutes, 10 minutes, Elliot. I guess it's 10 minutes here. Is that right? 10 minutes for the break. Okay. See you all at 8:15 for part 2. 3 minutes to go for part 2 of the quiz. 3 minutes to get the keys and the snacks and hurry back to your computer. 3 minutes to go.
Feeling good. I'm feeling great. How are you, Tony? Are you feeling ready for some more questions?
I am, although I sense a little nervousness from our participants on the next topics. We have sports coming up next, and there's some people little unsure. Although Sam, I think we should take a moment. This is a good moment to give a little shameless promotion for Sam's new podcast. Sam, who's been doing the next.
I have no idea what you're on about, Tony.
Launched a brand new world premiere podcast. I think 2 weeks ago now. Do you want to just say a bit
Close
about
to 2 weeks, yeah. So I started to do a basketball podcast a couple of weeks ago. It's called Beyond the Arc. I wasn't prepared to say anything about it today, so this is very improvised. The YouTube is Beyond the Arc podcast. The Twitter is, let me get it up. It'll be there soon. BYTA podcast, and the Instagram is the official BTA podcast. If you follow any of them, you can click the link in the bio, and that'll bring you to the YouTube channel where it was posted on, or it's on Spotify too. So if you just search Beyond the Arc, it's on there as well.
There you go, Beyond the Arc. Michael Jordan behind Sam in the background there, I think.
No.
Derek Rose, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay, here we go. So next up is sport. Then we have Chapel FM. So if you're not sure your sports, you can make it up in the Chapel FM. And then finally the bonus round where it counts for double. So if you're behind, we've got a little call out. Haryati and the kids group are saying that they think they're ahead, and they've got dibs on for the passion fruit moringa cake. So they think they're ahead. So let's see. Here we go. Sports round 4. Sam, why don't you start up?
Yeah, I'll start. Question 1 for the sports round. This is my specialty, is this. How many players are there in a rugby league team? Is it A, 9, B, 11, C, 12, or D, 13? How up on your sports are you, Tony? Are you?
Pretty good. Rugby, though,
No
not so
rugby.
good. Not so good on rugby. Question 2. Who won the FIFA or FIFA?
FIFA.
FIFA. There we go. Gave myself away. Women's World Cup in 2019. Could it be A, the United States, USA, B, the UK, C, France, D, New Zealand?
Sports question 3. How many balls are there altogether on a snooker table? I'm assuming this is before you've potted any. Answer A is 16. B is 19. C is 22. And D is 13.
Question 4. The LA Lakers and the New York Knicks play which sport? Baseball. A. B. Basketball. C. American football. Or D. Hockey.
Halfway through the sports round. Question 5. In what year did Andy Murray win Wimbledon for the first time? Is it A, 2007, B, 2005, C, 2013, or D, 2010?
Question 6. Who did England beat in the 2019 Cricket World Cup final? A, India. B, South Africa. C, New Zealand. D, Sweden.
Question 7. Which England footballer was famously never given a yellow card? Is it A, Wayne Rooney? Is it B, Gary Lineker? Is it C, Jamie Redknapp? Or is it D, Alan Smith?
And here we go. Question number 8 on sports. Which sport do competitors refer to catching a crab? A, darts. B, handball. C, squash. Or D, rowing.
Penultimate question for the sports round. Question 9. Which city has teams called Wednesday and United? Is it A, Manchester? B, Sheffield? C, Bristol? Or D, Liverpool?
And last in the sports section, question number 10. Here we go. Who won the gold medal for 400 meters run at 2 consecutive Olympic Games? Is it A, Michael Johnson, B, Carl Lewis or Lawes, C, Gregory Houghton, or D, Alvin Harrison?
That comes to the end of the sports round. Very quick round, that was.
The end is in sight. So next up is the Chapel FM questions and then the bonus round where the points count for double. So if you feel like you're behind, there's time to catch up. Here we go. So for the Chapel FM round, by the way, this is a chance. Go crazy on the message board. Send Elliot your thoughts, comments on Chapel FM, what you're missing, and just your responses to some of the questions. Love to hear from you. Here we go. Chapel FM. That's the old Chapel FM. The new one looks even fancier. Question 1. What was the last live event Chapel FM put on before closing the building to the public back in February 2020, 1 year ago? Was it A, quiz night? Was it B, an open mic night? Could it be C, a theater production of Cats? Or D, the Musicathon?
Question 2 on the Chapel FM round. Who is our new and current centre manager? Is it A, Adam Avery? Is it B, Beth Baker? Is it C, Charlotte Carrick? Or is it D, Dave Davison? Got some alliteration on that one.
Yes. Question 3. I think somebody out there might have a leg up on this one. Question 3. What is Peter Spafford's official job title? Is Peter A, the official Chapel FM wordy bird? Is he B, the director of words? Is he C, wordsmith? Or D, chief writer?
Question 4, the penultimate question of this rather short Chapel FM round. How many next generation courses does Chapel FM currently offer for young people? Is it A, 4? Is it B, 5? Is it C, 3? Or is it D, 1?
And question 5, back on Christmas Day 2019, what animal got into the Chapel FM Arts Center building and set off the alarm? Was it A, a spider, B, a mouse, C, a fly, or D, a bird? We should say that Elliot Moon, I think, got the said creature out of the building, right? Is that right, Elliot? Elliot did.
Thank God for that.
And here we go, round 6. The end is in sight. This is potluck, double points. Here we go. Ready, Sam?
Yeah, loads of random questions coming up at you here. But if you get them right, it's worth double the points. So, big prizes on offer here. I mean, the ending is in sight. It's quite sad that we're coming to the end. But it's in the same way very, very exciting because a winner is going to be announced soon. The cake is going to be consumed within the next week by our winner, most likely.
And Elliot has an entire team of computers getting ready to calculate all the results, a bunch of old mainframe computers that are going to just crunch the numbers. And so we will know the results within seconds, I think, of finishing the quiz. This is like, the American election speeded up.
Yeah, I would say not really. The American election takes like a week to announce the winner. So
yeah. So here we go. Are there 10 of these or 5, Elliot? 10 questions. So pace yourself. 10 more questions. Here we go.
Question 1 of Potluck. What is the most expensive spice in the world by weight? Is it A, saffron? Is it B, fennel? Is it C, lemongrass? Or is it D, spearmint?
So for question 2, what planet are the Transformers from? Are they from A, Coruscant? Are they from B, Terra Prime? Are they from C, Cybertron? Or could they be from D, Nova Prime?
We've got question 3 in our final round. Oh dear. Sub
So
submechanophobia. Have I said that right? Yeah. Submechanophobia is the fear of A. Peanut butter sticking to the roof of your mouth. B. Beards. C. The color yellow. Or is it D. Submerged man-made objects?
question 4. Which British chocolate maker based in New York was founded in 1767? A. Nestle. B. Cadbury. C. Thornton's. Or D. Terry's.
Halfway through our final round with question 5. What did the first vending machines in the early 1880s dispense? So they didn't dispense any chocolates, but what did they dispense? Did they dispense A. Postcards, B. Matches, C. Mints, or D. Beans?
Question 6. How many proteins are in an oxygen atom?
Protons.
Oh, sorry, proteins. How many protons are in an oxygen atom? A, are there 8 protons? B, 5 protons? A8, B5, C, 21, or D, 73?
Bit of a chemistry question. Question 7. What video game received the highest Metacritic, in brackets, media aggregate, close brackets, rating score in 2020? Is it A, The Last of Us Part 2? Is it B, Hades? Is it C, Persona 5 The Royal? Or is it D, Call of Duty Cold War?
And a little shameless plug while we have a moment here. If you feel like you're behind in your video game, tune in to Welly's Nerdy News Fridays once a month on ELFM, hosted by our own Elliot Moon, and you can get up on the latest video game stories, news, reviews, and all the rest of it. Okay, question 8. Which organ accounts for up to 30% of a shark's body mass? Is it A, its brain, B, its liver, C, the lungs, or D, the heart?
Question 9, the penultimate question of the whole quiz. What was Bram Stoker's original name for Dracula? Is it A, Count Vampire, B, Alucard, C, Mr. Fangs, or D, Batman?
And do you know, Sam, that Dracula was, do you know that Dracula, he started writing it and it starts off in Yorkshire? Do you know that?
No, I didn't. Oh, you learn something new every day.
Up in Whitby near Scarborough, the whole first part, he was hanging out in Whitby.
Yes.
That's why they have the big goth thing there every year.
Sorry, I don't know why I said I didn't know that. I've been there. I've gone up the steps. I've looked at the big scary place.
So here we go. The last question. Remember, these all count as double. So think hard. This could be the winning question for somebody. Question 10. At which hospital did the first heart transplant take place? A, Groot Schuur Hospital. B, Johns Hopkins Hospital. C, Toronto General Hospital. Or D, the Mayo Clinic. So there we go. Questions in. Elliot
is it.
and the team of computers are tabulating the results right now.
Make sure
All the numbers.
make sure that you put your email at the top of the Google form, else it won't be sent in.
All right. So we will find out in just a moment.
Click submit.
Click submit. Make sure they all come in. We will find out who is going to get the special custom cake made by the Chapel FM cafe manager and food artist, Vic Parrott. She's ready to get to work next week to make the cake of your dreams. So here we go, Elliot. Okay, Elliot and Hal, the computer, and all the other computers, Marvin, the paranoid android, are all collectively crunching the numbers. How did it feel, Sam?
We're just getting the results from space, I've heard.
They are, yeah.
You know, it's being sent up and, you know, it's going to come back down again.
So now if anybody really wants to know, I don't know, I'm kind of curious to know the answers to a few questions. I don't know, we'll see if we can share the answers at some point, maybe someplace. So if you're really curious about what the answers were to some of those questions, we'll try to see if we can make them available. But right now, only Elliot and the computers know what the correct answers are to those questions. So
yeah.
Okay, anybody not submitted their response? The clock is ticking. I think Elliot and the computers are waiting for a few more to come in. So if you're still there, hit submit.
Make sure you have hit submit. Make sure you put your email at the top or else it won't be submitted. Well, you could have got 75 out of 75, but you didn't put the email at the top. You didn't click submit and you're not getting the cake. So you've got to make sure that you put your email in or else no cake. And that's really sad.
Oh, okay. I think Elliot has the results. I don't know if that came over the airwaves. Let's confirm. Let's make sure there's no false reports here on the results. 57. So we have a winner with 57 points. Did you catch that, Sam? Who it is? Do you want to announce it?
Yes. It is. Drum rolls, please. I'm assuming you're all drum rolling at home. It is Daz Northfield.
Daz Northfield, host of Two Bob's Jukebox from ELFM. Daz Northfield, a two-time
champion. He's on a roll.
He's won the quiz twice in a row now. So Daz is the winner. Daz, if you're out there, if you want to send in, if you have a cake idea in mind, you got time to think about it. You can give it the weekend to give a thought. But if you've got a preliminary idea of what your dream cake is, send in a little note. But congratulations. Ooh, and very close. Runner-up was Monique, host of You Are From ? ELFM show. Just 54, so I think just 2 points behind. So it was very close. One of those bonus questions, 2 bonus questions would have made the difference. So congratulations, Daz. Congratulations, Monique, on being the runner-up. And there we go. That is quiz night for February 2021.
We thought that we'd come away from the Zoom quizzes in 2021, but you know we're back. Same old Zoom quiz.
So there we are. Congratulations, Daz. Congratulations, Monique. We may be back with another virtual quiz. Hopefully, we'll be back with real life in-person quizzes at Chapel FM. But if we're back with virtual quizzes, we would love suggestions on quiz topics as well for anybody. So if you felt like you didn't get the topic that you want to hear, we'll take suggestions. So thank you, Sam. Thank you, Elliot. Any closing comments? First of all, Elliot, behind the scenes, the quiz master, or Sam, before we head off?
I'll just say thanks to everyone for joining in. It's been a pleasure hosting this quiz with you, Tony.
Thank you, Sam.
I'd also like to say thank you. You can now hear me. I've been in the background pressing all the magic buttons. Lots of great comments I can see, which is so great. Thank you very much. But yeah, well done, Daz, 2-time winner. So yeah, I will be in contact with you via email about your cake and what your idea of what the cake is you want actually as well. So thank you for that. And lots of comments. It's been fantastic stuff, and I'm very happy with how this has gone, and I imagine we'll be doing a lot more stuff like this in the future if you guys are up for it. So thank you again, and I'm going to end the stream now, so bye from everyone.
Bye.
Bye. Bye for now.
Bye. Goodbye. Good night.